what we're facing one, they would initially tell us they're happy for you to do the rent to rent. And then for whatever reason, when you rebooked an appointment, they tend to change the tone, right? And you said they start asking you how you can afford to pay the rent and etc. etc. So when we approach an agent, right, we need to approach them. When we're talking to them, we need to understand what their protection is, because agencies, they don't want to lose their management fees, right? And they don't want to lose their repairs if they need to do repairs, right? So when we're communicating with the agencies, we need to tell them, listen, I'm interested in taking on the whole house at the beginning, right? And I will pay you the rent guaranteed without voids, okay? And that then gives you guarantee management, because obviously I'll be paying I'm paying the rent guaranteed, which means that management fees is guaranteed for you. No voids, and you're not going to be worried about chasing rent and all that sort of thing in room by room basis. That's one thing that you're gonna tell them. And secondly, they're gonna ask you what sort of people that will be working there or will be living at the property. We've got two options. Number one option, you're gonna tell them it's your work colleagues that you work with, working professionals. You're looking to take that advantage to provide them with accommodation, because most of them are struggling to get accommodation, right? Number two, you can use your company. Tell them, I have a cleaning company. I have people that are working for me, right? In a contractual basis. So I'm looking to house these people so they can do the works I want them to do, right? That is another way to actually overcome that issue, right? And that what that means them to you is to the agent is that I will be solely responsible to pay you the rent and anything involved. So you deal with me directly, right? So we with any issues, it will be me to contact. Okay. So how to overcome the financial side of things? How do we know you can pay us our rent, right? We can overcome that by a few ways, right? Number one, I'm happy to provide you a reference of a client of mine for you to find out whether I pay them rent consistently or how I look after their property. That's number one. You can do a landlord reference, right? To the current clients that I'm working with. Because when I started myself, I had that question. When people say, how do you guarantee me the rent? What have you got to guarantee me the rent? Right? That's what I've told them. I said, listen, I've worked with so many people, right? I have someone or a couple of people that you could ring to find out whether I am going to be able to pay you your rent. And plus, right, you can do me an income reference, right? This is to do with your job, right? They can go and do income referencing to see if you're earning in your job enough to be able to pay rent, right? Because what we're going to tell them that we have two sources of income. We have our cleaning business and we have our job, right? That enough satisfy you to ensure that I pay you your rent, right? And that will be guaranteed. Whether I rent these properties out or not, you will get your rent guaranteed. That's how we overcome that. But when you're talking to the agent, it's important for you to avoid the word rent to rent. Avoid saying that word, because some of them don't know about it. Some of them think it's subletting and it is illegal, right? And most of the agents don't know about properties. They are salespeople, right? They're just there to help landlords sell or rent their property. They don't really know about the ins and outs of stuff, right? Just tell them, I want to
them like this.
Yes.
What they talk about is, do you know what is mean? It's like they don't really understand what they talk about.
No, they don't know. They don't know what it means. Right? So if you communicate it that way, I would like to take on the property for my staff or for my work colleague on a guaranteed rent basis, right? I would like to take it for a couple of years or so, right? And in order for me to house my staff or in order to take up this opportunity I've got at work to house the new employees, right? So you can overcome it that way, but you use one or the other, not both of them at the same time. You can either use your component, right? Say I got my cleaning component, here's my card, I'm looking for properties where I can house my staff, right? Or you can use your where you work, the company has recruited lots of international people, you're looking to take on the opportunity to find them accommodation, but you want to take the property from them on a guaranteed rent basis, right? Don't talk about repair and maintenance, don't talk about management fees. Okay, that is key.
Yeah, because that's why they want to.
Yes, because that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
And also, it's also better for you in a way that once they come on board, if something goes wrong, you just ring the agent to go and fix it. Yeah, that saves you your repair and maintenance cost as well.
Yeah.
Right? So that could be another opportunity for you, but you need to communicate that to them in the outset. But don't use the word rent to rent. Because if you use the word rent to rent, most of them don't know it and they will get confused. Okay? And we also have a script. If you remember, we have a script. You know, look at that script now, right? Tweak it, right? Send it to me to review and practice saying it. Yeah? Practice it and practice and practice it until you get used to it. You need to have two, one for landlords and one for the agent. Agent, you don't mention repair and maintenance, you don't mention management fees, right? You just tell them you want to take on the property to house your employees or to house your work colleagues. That way you can get it, right? Because then they would understand and tell them they'll be dealing with you directly, right? And in most places this would work also. It would work well if you approach smaller agent, right? Smaller agents tend to know a lot about rent to rent, right? And smaller agents want to rent their properties out most of the times, right? So that they've got that recurring income coming. Okay? That's how you communicate that. What I like us to do after this call is to go back to the script, right? And see how you will be able to amend that script to make it fit those two criteria. Right, and then we then go to then say these things when we approach the agent, right? That's how we could overcome that, right? But the thing is, most people are doing, most agents know about these rent to rent things now, so we may be able to actually win businesses that way. But the word rent to rent, try to avoid to use it by all means. Okay. That's one of the how to overcome that obstacle. Obviously, review if there's any issues on that, we could also go on and talk about how to overcome that stuff. Okay,